Alright, welcome to another Retro Rocket Studios video. I'm Mark.
I'm Landon.
And today we're talking about a couple issues Landon's had with the Z9.
So I don't have the Z9 in studio today because I ran into an error message that it kept happening. I noticed people were getting this message on YouTube and some other Nikon forums, and it didn't happen to me until it did. And so the error message has to do with the shutter release. And basically, sometimes when I turned on the camera, I would get an error message, press shutter release, and it started happening intermittently. And then on one shoot that I was at, it just happened, after every other burst. And this was with a client, so luckily I brought my Z7 II as my backup camera, and eventually towards the end of the shoot I did have to switch to my Z7 II because I was just getting the error message just constantly.
So this was, just to be clear, you were getting the error message without turning off the camera. It was just taking photos and then you would get it in between photos?
Yes. Yeah, and I would get it in between photos, error, press shutter release to activate the camera, or whatever the message is, we'll show it here. And it did happen in photo and it did happen in video. Video, it seemed not to affect as much as photo. I guess I'm not sure exactly why, but maybe that's just because you're not pressing the shutter button as often as you are in video, and you're mostly recording videos with long, recordings in between. That's just my guess. So I reached out to Nikon, I reached out to some of our contacts. They recommended that I send in my body, my Z9, into the Melville, New York shop. And so I did that, I overnighted it. They've been very helpful. They've been answering all my questions. Basically, they got back to me and they said, hey, we have parts on hold. Your parts won't get here until the end of April. So at that point, I requested that they send my Z9 back. And right now, it's in the process of being delivered back to the studio. So that's why I don't have my Z9. But they did say when the parts come in, ship it back to Melville and I'll be able to get that serviced. And I did ask a little bit more questions about what they could do or what was going on. They said, set the sensor shield to the default behavior. And that default behavior is the sensor shield stays open. My only issue, or my only tentative thing, is that I've heard of the error message coming back up even in that state. So hopefully it's a fix, it's a workaround that that can last me until April, until I can get new parts for my camera. So that's what I get for being an early adopter. I mean, that's kind of what you expect as, or what you have to expect as an early adopter. I'm not making apologies for Nikon. I'm just saying that this is what it is, and this is what sometimes happens with the new technology. Canon R5 users, you are no stranger to issues with cameras. So here are my tips. If you're one of those people running into this issue, I suggest you reach out to Nikon, whether NPS first or just Nikon services, and see what they say. Hopefully you can get it sent in and with a quick turnaround, get that sensor shield replaced or whatever they need to do to fix the camera, and then send it back to you as soon as you can. If you start getting those issues within 30 days of getting your Z9, reach out to Nikon as soon as you can. If you ever see that error message, just reach out to Nikon as soon as possible. Maybe take a picture of it so you have evidence. But reach out to them as soon as you can, because if you are within that 30 days, they might just end up replacing the whole camera for you. That's only one thing that I've heard secondhand happening to somebody. But once you reach out to Nikon, make sure that they have a part in-house for you at the service department so that that turnaround time is as quick as possible. So those are my suggestions. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you. Hopefully you don't get that error message. But if you're one of the unlucky ones, if you're one of the early adopters like me, like a few other people online, you might get it.
That's just a little update on the Z9, and hopefully nobody else is experiencing that problem, but let us know if you are and what you've done and what you've heard back from Nikon, if you've gotten yours back already.
Yeah, and if anything that you've done has fixed it personally for you at home, we'll keep you guys updated. We'll update you in the comments. We might make a follow-up video when I do get my body sent in, but in the meantime, I'm going to be using it basically on a daily for work, and I'll see if anything crops up from that again, or if if I get the error message again with the default behavior for the sensor shield. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated as best as I can, and let us know if you want to see a follow-up video about it.
Yep.
But yeah,
all right,
that's it.
Awesome. See you guys in the next one.
All right, see ya.